Welcome back this morning. The federal government has given online dating apps an ultimatum. Platforms like Tinder, Bumble and Hinge are being urged stricter safety measures to protect users if they want to avoid a legislative crackdown.
To unpack this, let's bring in digital wellbeing specialist Dr. Jo Orlando. Good morning,
Hi, Jo.
Hello. Just how dangerous have these apps become?
Look, I think most people would be really welcoming this kind of change. When I do my research, most people say to me that they're just used to being treated badly on dating apps. And that is an absolute generalisation, but it's so true for many of us. About 3 in 4 people say now that they've been ghosted, bad language, there's this thing called rejection violence. So if you don't want to, accept the offer of a one-night kind of meeting of the person or that kind of thing, it might start nice and then it changes. So if the person doesn't like what you're saying, their tone can really change. And that could be incredibly wearing on someone. Not only is there the physical kind of aggression, but the mental wearing down of people as well.
So what safety measures can be put in place then?
Yeah, so the government is looking for all the dating apps to make changes around notifying of the risks that they pose. They want them to be more kind of collaborative with the legal services and the police when the time comes, but also targeting at-risk users. So right now, the 45 to 65-year-old age group, very active on dating apps, but they're the most at risk. Often they've come out of a long-term relationship straight into a dating app and not really familiar with it, and they're often targeted for scams. So there's that as well. So really alerting that group about scams that are happening on the site and so forth.
Do you think that major companies are going to come to the table here?
Look, I think they have to. If we put it in place, right now it's voluntary, but if we put it in place as a mandated thing, like we've seen a lot of things around social media apps, then hopefully they will. But I think people are getting tired of the way social media and those kind of dating things are treating us. So I think people will walk with their feet or walk with their fingers, go to another dating app that is actually looking after them.
It definitely feels like a conscious move away from things at the moment, all across the apps. But what legislative crackdowns would happen? What could they do? What could the government do here?
Yeah, well, I think one of the things is about people's transparency on these apps. So that's where a lot of the issues are. They're kind of hiding behind the screen, and we know people say anything when they're behind the screen, and there's this culture of online hate and cancel culture, and we just go into that. I think one of the things that needs to be put in is the location of the person who you're actually communicating with on the app. That, not their address, but where they are in terms of a suburb. That starts to take away a little of that anonymity that's happening on the apps, and that's feeding this kind of bad behaviour.
All right, some much needed changes there. Thank you, Jo, for your insight.
Thanks, Jo.